Good morning. I just got out of bed because I'm on holiday, you see. So I'm just enjoying a large coffee. And what's this video about? Well, it's kind of about reverbs and echoes, but we're going to do something a little bit unusual. I'm going to sort of try and create reverb textures using just samples and not actually using reverbs. Most of us normally use reverb to add a sense of space to something that has none. But sometimes it's quite nice to just imply that a sense of space is there, just, with like a reverb tail. Like I can't really like it when I hear people in music and they kind of use a reverb texture as a kind of percussive element using like reverb tails, because you get it a lot in sort of dub and very experimental, kind of old avant-garde electronics. Everybody loves a reverb tail, don't they? Here's one right now. So that was just me making a very short sound into a reverb. Just sounds cool, doesn't it? Scary. But I'm going to make my own from this delicious piece of sound. And the reason why I've picked that piece of sound is because everyone knows it and everyone will be able to hear what we're doing to it. So what we're going to kind of do is make a kind of granular cloud, and then apply an envelope to it and some interesting events to create a very strange sort of texture, which will sound like this, but it will be unfamiliar to that. That could just be someone letting off a starting pistol in a ridiculously large cave in space. But we're going to kind of make a very claustrophobic one. So I'm going to plonk that in there. And I have to go into sampler for this, and I might just make the screen a little bigger. Big screen. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to find a sound I like. Let's go for this bit here. And I'm just going to create a very short loop. Like that. I'm going to put some crossfade on. And, right, what do I want to do now? Well, I want to travel through the sound like this, very slowly. So I'll do that first. Let's just put a nice ramp up here, set that really slow, set that to loop start, see what we get. Okay, we need to put some release on here. There we go. So we should get a little bit of travel. There we go. Very nice. And now I kind of want it to sort of jitter a little bit as it travels to kind of get a strange texture. You can very easily do that by using a second LFO set to sample and hold, set really, really fast, and also assigned to the loop start, but only very slightly, something like 2. 1.99. Listen to that. Doesn't that sound creepy? Isn't that cool? So it's sort of like a grainy reverb tail and it sounds creepy. And if we bring in I've got this in a drum rack at the moment, but if we brought in a chord plugin, put the chord in before, and set this to a very ugly chord. Ugh, it's hideous, isn't it? So yeah, it's just sort of like kind of sounds like a reverb tail like this, but it's sort of close and grainy, and it's really ugly. And you know, we could do like some more stuff. We could apply some pitch to it. You can see what it's doing. It's moving through the sound, but it's moving sort of back and forward as it's moving forward. Like that. Yeah. We could put some filter on. The filter. I love the old notch. It's cool. We can actually try this with the, let's do this with the vocal thing. I'll record a little bit of vocal. My lovely morning vocal. That beautiful. What a sweet angel. Right. What have we got here? Oh, hang on. Right. There we go. Right, let's jump back in. So, yeah, this isn't really a reverb. This is more like a kind of just a grain cloud, I suppose. Very quiet. Okay, bit crossfade. Let's go. Let's loop start. Okay. Actually, I think I want to move this to a regular MIDI track. I'm going to choose a scale. I'm going to go for something doom like C minor. Okay. And let's do the same thing we were doing. The thing and 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 that. Oh, there you go. Scary. Let's put some release up and some attack. So it sounds like it's got reverb on it, but it hasn't really. The way that we're moving around the sound gives it that sort of weird tone texture that you might expect from a reverb or something that's been processed through reverb very heavily. But there is no reverb, so you get this sort of weird juxtaposition of there being space and depth, but the sound is very close. And another thing we can do is that we can apply, what do we do here? We can apply the velocity to go to the sample offset, and sample offset, okay, and then loop starts. Yeah, okay, so we'll set the velocity to the sample offset and to the loop start again, so that depending on how hard we hit the key, we'll get a different position here. But I don't want any, yeah, that's all the way down. So now we get new textures every time we get a sound. Turn the release back up. Sound like spooky chipmunks. Let's whack the voices up to stupid. Let's turn that off as well. Put a little bit of pitch on that. Make it sound a little bit more weird. Bit of filtering. So yeah, I mean, it's not really kind of quite what I set out to demonstrate. This was really what I was more into. Doing cool stuff like this. So, you know, you could sort of how much, well, we can turn the release down and set this to go quite fast so it scrubs through the sound quite quickly. Not that fast, although that sounds kind of cool. So, yeah, we're not creating reverbs, we're creating kind of events that have tails that kind of sound like they could be reverb, but not. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I just want to say big up to all my patrons. I got a new one today, and that's Ethan Hunter. Isn't that a famous person? Is that the guy from Mission Impossible? Anyway, big you up, all you cool patron dudes. Thanks for your support. See you. Goodbye.